Okay, so this is for our practice of connecting to the element space, the element void, the void element, spaciousness element, really noticing and then increasing our daily connection as the presence of the white Dakini of space, of the element space. Yeah. So while working with her practices this time, really pay attention to space, to emptiness. Look at the view, like some of you were already saying that you have. Yeah, look at the sky, especially look at the sky at night, at the stars, at the moon, at the clear spaces in the night sky. Also really notice how the element of space really comes to us from where it is not. So where something else is not. It's the spaces in between. So start noticing the spaces in between things. The spaces in between leaves or branches on a tree. The spaces in between breath, particularly noticeable between the end of the out breath and the natural start of the next in-breath. There is a space there. There is the presence of the white Dakini of the center gate right there. Yeah. Think about the infinite space, that ecstatic, calm, still, the still ecstatic expansion of the cosmos in the universe. That space element, the void element out there, is far further out than you can actually comprehend with your mind. And at the same time, far further into literally every atom of every molecule, of every cell of your physical body, of your beingness. Yeah. And then we're also going to be noticing the places where space is not, where we are not spacious, particularly around these feelings of dullness or bewilderment, overwhelm, or disassociation and fragmentation, feelings of loneliness and disconnection, particularly disconnection in relationship. Yeah, where do we move into disconnection, and how can we find spaciousness within ourselves without necessarily needing to resolve a situation that has created disconnection, but where we can be touching into the presence of this non-separation, yeah, this spaciousness. We'll come to noticing and honoring and connecting to the element of space in relationship a little bit later on, a bit more. So when you are connecting to the Dakini, the white Dakini of the center, as the void Dakini, as the Dakini of the element of space, yeah, direct your attention towards that which is usually ignored, which is usually space. So we tend to see an object, but not what is not there in the object, which is actually usually how the object functions, not always. But say, for example, something as simple as a teacup. Yeah, the teacup is the container for the space in which the tea goes. And equally so, when you drink your tea, yeah, there is space within your digestive system to receive that tea. Yeah, so it's actually the spaciousness that creates this ability to interact, to receive. Yeah, it's present in all the what they call the hollow organs. So the organs that have spaces within them. The Dakini of the void, of white Dakini of the center gate, is present in all our joints, where the spaces between one bone ending and the next bone beginning gives us our ability to move, our flexibility, but also our strength. So I would like you to particularly start noticing glass, because glass is a very interesting alchemic or chemical element. It is actually, strictly speaking, not a solid. It is a very, very, very slow liquid. Okay, so if you look at glass, medieval glass window panes, the small window panes that have been in their position for a long time, what you will find is that the top parts of those panes are thinner than the bottom parts, because this glass is actually very slowly moving, pulled by gravity. So that's one fascinating aspect of glass. The other one is, of course, that it is translucent. You can see through it. Yeah, it gives this, like indeed rock crystal or diamonds, yeah, this clear, pristine crystal presence of what is there and what is not there at the same time. Yeah, because it is a form. I'm talking about a glass specifically. It's a form you can hold in your hand that you can look through, that you can see space in, and you can then fill or empty that space that is within it. Yeah. Does that change the space that is in the glass, whether it is full or empty? I'd like you to just sit with that. I'm not saying that I have an answer here, by the way. This is a very interesting way of connecting to the white Dakini of the center, the void Dakini of the element of space. So when we are honoring her around us, specifically pay attention to the space around you inside a building. So again, we're having this containment in which spaciousness is. Become very present with how you walk into spaces in rooms that you enter. Yeah? What is your intuitive feeling about certain spaces that you enter? Yeah, we can enter places that feel full and oppressive, or that feel clean and spacious. Just begin to notice these subtle differences. Outside, if you're not in a building, really see her, see the white Dakini of space as the beautiful open vistas, the views, the sky. Yeah, feel her as the still point of our great wheel, the wheel of the seasons, the wheel of the turning cycle of the houses of initiation. She is the center, so that's why she is of the center gate. Yeah, she is the still center of an actual wheel that's spinning, whether that's a potter's wheel or a wheel on a car or on a bicycle. And the wheel of time, equally so, she is the still void center. And then we're going to start noticing our emotional space, yeah, our conceptual space, our creative space. When do we have space for ourselves? Yeah, what is our availability to be present with our creative space, with our conceptual space, our intellectual space, with our actual spatial space, our emotional space for people and for ourselves, for other people and for ourselves. So when you are honoring any of these, yeah, notice that without void, things can't actually become into form, can't become created, because without the void, the space, there would not be space for anything. Yeah, so how can we dance with space? How can you honor space in all these different forms more in your day-to-day life as a practice of connecting to the white Dakini of the center gate, the void Dakini? Yeah. Looking for, I said, for spaces between things is a very nice practice out in nature in particular. Yeah. And I don't know if you remember that image from the Starry Heaven movie, where you have this rock with a hole through it. Yeah, that kind of spaciousness, void, presence between things that are solid and stay in one form, and you can see the change, the movement happening through the spaciousness of what is not there. Now, within your relationship, we are going to be honoring the white Dakini of space, the element of space, as presence. So not absence, presence. And that's very much the quality of that jewel. The diamond jewel is pure presence. Yeah, so in your relationships, where are you present and where are you not present? Where are you feeling the other person has space to be present with you? And do you give them the room that they might need without judgment to do so? Yeah. If you are in the distortion, in the overwhelm, or the fragmentation, or the dullness, then if you're dull, in the dullness, you're not present, you're numb. Yeah. Everything can feel overwhelming. If you are in the fragmentation, you're in the reactive form. Yeah. Everything is skitty. There's no place, no relevance. There's everything going on at the same time. In fragmentation, you're all over the place. Yeah, bit this, bit that, can't sit still, can't finish a sentence. Yeah, can't get anything done. It's frantic. Yeah, and you're not really relatable to, not from a place of presence. Someone can hold space for you, or you can hold space for someone, and they're in that place of disquiet, of disconnection from the element of the void, of space. So notice specifically in relationship where you are present in your life in general, not just your love relationships, all relationships. And make space in your life for your spiritual practices, in your spiritual work, your devotional life. Because this is very much the presence of the White Dakini of the center. Yeah? Remember, we offer to her from our spiritual body, and she feeds that in a way, or she blesses that in a way. And without this, really, none of the other elements can fully arise, can fully ground themselves in and through you. Okay, so really have space for yourself to give yourself space. That sounds like a nice one. Yeah. And try to do the White Dakini practices as part of that, so that you touch into that expanse of her element and the blessing of her gifts, her elixir of non-separation.